Well, she hasn't snowed in a week or so. And what better time to see if this thing will start than on this probably, hopefully, I say hopefully, last nice day. Because unfortunately I'm just ready for winter to be here. I'm tired of it toying around with this. But he's got a few problems with this truck, and he wants to try to get them addressed so he can maybe start trying to drive it. He says he hasn't started it in a few weeks, so let's see if it'll start. And it fired right up. Water off the air cleaner, that scared me. Well, she's just running good. Can you get it to... See about gluing that up for him. But one of the problems is there's no heat. The fan motor doesn't work. And the choke isn't hooked up. I think I might have already said that, I don't remember. I can't believe how good this thing runs. But you know, he's been driving it around and putting some miles on it when he can. Pretty cold-blooded. No, not quite. Probably won't stay running, but grab my primer. I was thinking I was gonna have the primer up. Didn't have to. I'll stick that back here. Alright. Probably should try to find him a new bench seat too. Bit cold-blooded. Yeah, don't forget this old truck sat for 30 years, 35, 30 years, I don't remember, 95. What is that? 30 years. It sat for 30 years. And then it sat some time before it got dragged to his house, so there's really no telling. We're just going to say, we'll just call it 35 years. And it's just amazing that this thing runs as good as it runs. With a locked up motor, supposedly. Yeah, this old girl just runs. like it's warming up now and it's staying running, so good. Hopefully it shouldn't roll away on us. Spill my primer gas. We'll set this right there. Check my fire. Oh, there's some coals in it. We'll open that up. I think he's got to get a radiator cap. Still making some interesting noises. So, first things first, I guess I gotta eyeball those fuses. I suppose I could just check to make sure it's not a wire unhooked. Pete's sake. Alright, well, I gotta get that open and I'll bring it back. Well, I guess eyeballing this here real fast like. That's a problem. There's nothing hooked up. You think that goes in there? That old heater motor looks pretty jammed in there. Yeah, let's see if it works. I don't even know if that's the right heater motor for this. Maybe that's the problem. I'm gonna say not. Oh. Yeah. Listen to that old whiny thing. He's got defrost. That's what he wanted. Oh, that motor sounds horrible. Well, easy enough. I don't think there's any way of getting in there and spraying any kind of oil on that. So we're not going to. But I am going to see about, what is that thing? Huh. Whatever it is, it's not connected fully. Anyways, I am going to come up with a better plug for that. And we'll go from there. And then as far as the choke goes, it's just a little rod thingy on there. Okay, well, I got that kind of fixed up. So this right here is supposed to go into the carbonator, but oops. carbonator part doesn't fit. Because it's a 9/16. So basically I gotta unthread, if this would focus, that thing that's going into the carburetor and drill it out. So the line right there at the nut on it will go into it so we can thread it on there for the carburetor. His heater hose isn't looking too happy either. But yep, that's where we're at right this second. So I'm gonna have to drill that out to accept that, because this was a flared fitting tube attachment here, and this was a compression fitting style. So oops, hopefully the threads are the same, but all I can do is drill that out and try it. So now we wait. Something like that. And we see if it works. It's hot. I got the choke thing adjusted to the middle. So we just need this to run. What that style of fitting is, but I don't have anything. That's thread size. So anyways, it's just the choke part. I don't think it's that important. But I could be wrong. Get that thing installed on there. Hopefully. I may have to cut this little part off here where it's just a threaded part. We'll see. Yeah, let me try to get that installed on there. Listen to that fan. We'll let that fan run. That's what I was talking about, doing that plastic thing right there. Just have to wait a few minutes and see what it does. Well, I've had to mess with it a little bit. So I guess we just got to let it cool off completely and see if that choke closes. That's about all I can do right now. I suppose if we keep having problems with that choke, which I don't know if it's working or not yet, we gotta let the engine cool down. I've got this electric one I think I can retrofit on there for them. But the good news is the heater's working in it, so that's good. Alright, it's been several days later. Yeah, I don't think that choke works at all. This truck's been sitting here running for about 15-20 minutes. That choke will not open up. I guess I have no choice but to go park this next to his building and let it sit for another 30 years. Just because we can't fix the choke. I'm just playing with you. I think I've got an electric choke that we can stick on there and make work. Something sizzling. So let me look at that real quick. But you can, I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but you can definitely see the heat coming off the engine and stuff, so it's not off the radiator. Somebody gave me this carburetor. It's kind of an odd carburetor. I'm guessing it's off a big fancy feed truck or some sort of industrial truck. But it looks like this might work on that. So I think technically those little 2-barrel carburetors that are on these Fords, I think they are technically a Holley. Technically. It could be a Carter, I don't know. But technically I think this electric choke should bolt onto that. There's that. We may have to change some gizmos in here, I don't know. But that's the important thing. And the reason I said I think this is some sort of industrial doohickey is because of whatever we got going on here. So that would be the fuel inlet, as far as I know. And these are some sort of vents. But on a typical Holley, this would be where you would adjust your needle height and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know anything about this one. But so far it's being a good parts carburetor. So I'll go pull that off the Ford there and we'll compare them real quick. So all this one off the truck does is supposed to heat up and do some things, but it doesn't do anything. This one here heats up off of some power and does some things. So I think in my little brain, the only thing that's different is the way this hooks up to the choke. So I think I can just pull this spring out and swap them. So that's what I'm going to try to do real quick. And I'm going to do that off camera because this could turn to be a really bad deal. But we'll see. Oh, that fit right in there. Here's the old one. So we should be able to put this thing in there. I don't know if these little marks are going to line up or not, but we just need to get some power to it. I need to take my little ground off here. Like I got a screwdriver right here in my pocket. So if you know what kind of carburetor this is or what this was for, I guess you can let us all know, because I don't know. It doesn't surprise probably anybody that I don't know, but I know. We're also going to see if we can use this bracket, because the one that's on there is kind of a pain in the butt. So it does appear that the little notch on top there for that thing does line up. I've got it on the rich side of things, because this truck seems to like to be cold-blooded. So what I got to do is see if I can figure out what we have power-wise. So that should actually... Oh, maybe if I actually hook the battery up, huh? So I got power to it? No. I don't know what that relay was for. So let's turn the key on. Maybe pull the brake pedal back so the tail lights don't Drain down the battery. Kind of smells like a rat inside there. I guess that is totally 100% dead. I know that's got power because that's coming off the doohickey. What about this melted wire? Has it got power to it? No. What about that wire? Does it have power to it? That'd be nice. It does. I don't know if that's 12 volts, but it's got power to it. I don't know what that's for either. Oh! Getting caught on the rust. I'll make sure that turns off with the key. Power off. Looks like it's off. You know, this truck could have had a, no, it's got the heat riser pipe on it, no. So let me make up a little wire adapter that'll fit in that. We'll hook that up and then we'll turn the key on and that choke should start just kind of working on its own without the truck running. All right, let's see what happens. Is it opening? As far as I can tell, it's opening. I mean, these are not going to be fast at all. Oh, I hear some noise. Sorry, I don't know how to speed up footage. I'm not smart, so we're gonna watch this in real time. That's definitely working. When I push back on it, it opens up, so perfect. Ow. So, the next thing we gotta do is turn the key back off and make sure it resets. But I won't make you guys watch that, so I'll bring you back here in a bit. I got a few things to do around the garage here, and then as soon as we know that guy closes, we get the air cleaner on. I'll get a spring on the brake pedal, and I dare call this truck ready to drive daily, maybe weekly. But that's good enough proof to me that it's closing on its own. So we're going to put the air cleaner back on, and I adjusted the brake pedal brake light switch. It's a little plastic thing you can push in and out. I adjusted that so his brake light shouldn't be on anymore, and I think he's ready to start just driving this thing around. I guess the last thing I should do is cut this thing off, because it's just gonna sit here and arc on everything. But yeah, I think we're in good shape. Guess we'll let it run for a while. Think it'll start right up? Of course it will. Brake lights aren't on, so good. Oh, like the coat's already open. Perfect. Alright guys, well that's the end of this video on this again. Until the next time. But the more and more he drives this, the better and better it runs. So I think he's going to get he's got some new wheels and tires for it. And he's got a few little piddly things like windshield wipers and stuff like that, but I think he's ready to start just driving it. So I hope to see it on the road and another one saved. Well, as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.